Podketeers.
All right, can you hear me okay?
Yep.
You
Yeah.
see me okay and everything?
Mm-hmm.
I gotta.
See you, hear you, smell you.
I hope you can't smell me. That would be bad. I have a slightly different setup to try to get around some of the issues we had a couple episodes ago.
Uh-huh.
I got this cool new like shock thingy for my microphone.
Uh-huh.
It is mounted weird. It's in this really awkward position because I realized it was blocking the light the way that I have it set up here. So it work in progress. You know, it's
Yeah.
going to continue to evolve as we go on, and I wanted this background. I wanted to match Andrew's energy and Mel's energy, and like here we are now. So
Here we are.
now I have to deal with it because there's no going back. I cannot go back to the other setup.
Nope.
But yeah, I am Migraine Town, USA right now. So
Population Hazen.
population me. So I am gonna do my best to get through this episode. I was not going to miss it, obviously, because it's our year-end episode for 2025.
Yeah.
It's been, what's that phrase? A roller coaster of a year.
It's been 1 week since
roller coaster of a year.
There's
been a lot of things
84
happening.
years.
Yeah, this has been the longest 84 years ever.
Yep.
It's been crazy. It's been a hard week, I think, for a lot of Disney fans, because we lost a couple of people in the Disney community. Some happy, some sad, obviously, because Dick Van Dyke celebrated his 100th birthday, so that was definitely a happy thing in the last couple weeks. But then we got the news that former Disney Imagineer Eddie Soto had passed away. Then just a few days ago, we received the news that Adam the Woo had passed away, and Eddie Soto was. I don't think Eddie is like one of the Imagineers that's like really prominent in people's minds. Like he's not a Tony Baxter to some people, especially not like newer fans.
Mm-hmm.
He's definitely someone that had a great impact on the parks. I remember there was a story that I had heard once about him that like he grew up like a huge Disney fan as well, and he had created this like 200th scale version of the park, like in his house. So that I'm again, goals, right? That's something that I've always wanted to do. So you could tell that he's been a longtime fan, but like he worked for Knott's Berry Farm, like he worked for a couple of like engineering firms and stuff. So eventually he made it to Disneyland, worked there as an Imagineer. I thought this was going to help me not bump into the mic, and I just bumped into it. So apparently it's not helping.
Lean back. How about be like Fat Joe? Lean back.
Lean back. I can't. I'll have to figure this out. But, I'll again, work in progress.
Yes.
But yeah, Eddie worked on Mission Space over at Epcot. He worked a lot on Main Street USA over at Disneyland Paris. He had contributions to he worked on that restaurant that they have at LAX. Like they did like I forgot what it's called, but there was like a space themed restaurant at LAX. I gotta find it, but I think he contributed to that as well. So
Nice.
it was very sad to lose
It's
him,
called
especially
the Theme Building. It's that the like weird arch thing. It's called the Theme Building.
Yeah.
It was like a rotating restaurant.
Yes.
Yeah.
That I don't think is open, but it was. Yeah, but Imagineering designed it.
Yeah. So that was kind of a big deal.
He's also, for me, big guy, voice of Shrunken Ned.
He is the voice of Shrunken
He's the
Ned.
voice of Shrunken Ned.
Yeah.
The guy.
Yeah, it was definitely a sad. When I found out He was one of the former Disney employees that was speaking up a lot about what's been happening with the company recently. He was one of the few people to speak up and basically tell Bob Iger, "Hey, man, get it together." And we don't get that all that often. So he's definitely gonna be missed. He was very outspoken in many ways, but man, was he talented. I never had a chance to meet him. I always wanted to meet him, but never got a chance to. So that is something that kind of bums me out that I never got a chance to meet him. Especially considering that a couple years before, like the early years of the pandemic, he was on this short list of people that we were reaching out to or attempting to reach out to try to get on the podcast as a guest, and it never came together. So sadly, that will not come together now. So that's very sad. And then I mentioned him as well, Adam the Woo. Uh, I didn't realize that there are some people in the Disney community that don't know who Adam is. And I don't know if that has to do with the fact that there's a lot more short form content that people are consuming, or they consume a lot of content through like TikTok, and he was such a big YouTuber. But Adam was I want to say he started vlogging like in 2009 or something like that. And he did a lot of urban exploring really early on in his career, and he made headlines and got I don't remember if that was a thing that like made him blow up like as a content creator, but he basically got trespassed by Disney for exploring one of the parks that was closed. And after that, like he just continued, like he was trespassed from Walt Disney World, but he could still attend Disneyland, stuff like that. He could still go to the parks around the world. He traveled a lot in his van, did a lot of vlogs from different locations. He was last living in Celebration, Florida. And it's funny because when I first started vlogging and I first started the podcast, he was one of the people that I would watch on YouTube, and I always thought like I want to do this. Like I want to be able to share this passion. I want to be able to talk about these things that I want to talk about with people, and just have a good time. And I remember approaching a lot of different creators when we first started. And if I think something people don't realize about the Disney community is that yes, it's a very magical place, but there's a lot of gatekeeping to there's a lot of um there's a lot of drama that happens behind the scenes of a lot of stuff that I just don't like to be a part of. I do my best. Sometimes it's unavoidable, but I do my best to not be a part of it. I just don't like it. And the older I get, the less I like it, right? And
Mhm.
so there's all these creators that reach a specific level in their content creation where uh they're very different off camera than they are when you meet them in real life. And Adam was not like that. I remember specifically meeting him a few times. I met him through a mutual friend. And I remember every time, like after meeting Adam and after having a couple of conversations with him, every time I saw him in the park after, it's like we were friends. Like if I put a camera in his face or I was vlogging and he wasn't, he didn't ever act like, "Oh, I don't want to do this. Like get away from me. Like this isn't one of my vlogs," right? Like he just jumped in, and he was just really supportive when he didn't have to be, right? Like I didn't like
Mhm.
I wasn't one of the people in his friend circle. Like he didn't owe me anything, and yet anytime that I attempted to record something or he saw me, he was one of the people that remembered me, as somebody who was just starting out and was trying to get my own videos off the ground. And it could have been the fact that we had a mutual friend, or I everything I've known about Adam is just like he was just a really nice guy. He was very genuine. Whenever you met him, he was definitely outspoken in many ways. But he's the reason a lot of people vlog at Disneyland. Like whether you do short form videos, whether you do long vlogs, whether um, you watch other creators. A lot of them got their start because they watched Adam, and they saw what he was doing. And of course, vlogging evolved, and there was all the other creators that were out there doing their stuff, and a lot of our vlogs were influenced by other creators as well. But yeah, when I found out Adam had passed, I have to admit it hit me a little harder than some of the other passings that we've recently found out about. Maybe because I had personally interacted with him. I don't want to misrepresent anything that I'm saying. Like we weren't like best friends. Like I wasn't part of his friend circle. I don't want it to sound like, oh my god, like we were always hanging out or anything like that. I do want to say though that every single interaction I ever had with Adam was so genuine. It was so wholesome. And no matter what was going on, like he was never rude. He was just one of the nicest people I ever met. And I think the Disney community specifically just owes a lot to him being a vlogger, putting himself out there, and showing people that it was okay to do something like that, to do this unconventional thing as you kind of follow what your passion is, whether it's what we're doing right now or whether it's something in the parks. So, yeah, I don't know what more to say outside of that, but it hit me a little harder than I thought it was going to when I found out. So to his family, to his mom and dad and his sister, obviously, my heart goes out to the three of them, because I know it's going to be very difficult for them, and all of his friends. To the people that really hung around with him. I also had an opportunity to meet a lot of the people that were in his immediate circle of friends, and all of them are also really great people. It's really interesting, like the people that you meet along the way in the parks and the people that even years later leave that impression on you. Adam is one of those people. I know Adam's videos definitely influenced a lot of what I did really early on, and who knows, maybe they're even influencing what I'm doing now to a certain extent. So, um, to everybody that watched Adam, I hope, as Adam would say, I hope you have your piping hot caffeinated beverage, and join us, won't you? So, cheers to Adam. How do I hard pivot out of this? I don't even know. It's ring exactly.
Something in the parks, because that
Yeah,
would be him.
yeah. Let's do some park stuff. Actually, I want to ask you this. It's kind of park related.
Okay.
Mel, Dreamlight Valley. This
Yeah.
last week, they
Yeah.
introduced a couple of new attraction items. Do you want to talk about that? Because I think you bought them, right?
Yeah, they know how to sucker me in into giving them my moonstones.
So what did they introduce?
They introduced the main facade for It's a Small World, not just
Ooh.
regular, but also holiday. And with the lights and everything, it looks so pretty. It really does. I didn't care. I bought it. 3,000 moonstones, whatever.
Do you get both for
3,000?
3,000?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I shouldn't complain about it being 3,000 because I'm pretty sure that when I got the mansion ones, it was about
Yeah.
3,000,
Yeah.
and I got the regular mansion and mansion holiday for that as well.
Right.
So,
Right. So
mm,
it's not too bad. I mean, Disney math. There you go. I mean,
Disney math.
it. You know what? It makes me happy. Whatever. But no buts. I already started decorating the inside. I'm trying to make it blue and white, with a little bit of gold, somehow. But that I want to say that this week's, I want to say everything in the shop is pretty much like winter themed. Everything. I was like,
Yeah.
pass. I just want that. That's all I want.
I
And I
do.
I know we were talking about it. Um, I wish the boats did move, but
Yeah, I was about to ask you about that because it's I when you sent us the screenshot,
hmm
I had just seen a clip of somebody complaining, I just bought this and the boat doesn't move.
yeah.
I so there's a lot of items in the game right now that I feel should have been just a house or should have been an attraction.
Mm-hmm.
Tower of Terror is one of those things that is just an attraction. Like it's not a house, like it,
Right.
because they have house skins, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And so Tower of Terror, if you go and you interact with it, it does the elevator shaft thing. Like it opens up and it shows you like the sparks and everything. It's actually kind of cool. And at night the lights flicker and they do the whole thing. So it's actually one of the cooler skins in the game, or one of the cooler attractions. Then they have things like the Mickey's Death Wheel. They have Dumbo. They have Slinky Dog Dash. They have the Flying Carpet. They have like several attractions.
Aliens.
Yeah, they have.
Matt Tea
Oh,
Party.
they have the Matt Tea Party. They also
Yeah.
have like the Monsters Inc. little ride. Like you see the Monsters Inc. buildings and stuff with the little cab. And those attractions are actually kind of cool because you can sit in the ride vehicle and do a POV
hmm
of that attraction. Like they're very short, right? But like the one that you probably get the most bang for your buck when it comes to like what you're seeing is the wheel, because it actually takes you high and you can see across your valley the same way you would if you were actually on the attraction. All the other ones have very short tracks. You're not going to be on there very long, but it's still fun that you can ride the
hmm
attraction. This one is a house skin, but I feel it should have been an attraction that had some additional elements that you can purchase, because they've done this really great job recently of, remember when Alice was the prominent character
hmm
and they added the Cheshire Cat topiary, and then they added like the maze hedges and stuff that you could, and they added all the
Yeah.
flowers and all the plants and all that stuff. They did an amazing job with the decorations for the Alice thing. This should have been the same thing. I feel that
Mm-hmm.
instead of a house skin, it should have been something that you interact with. The boats move, the little clock opens up, and you get like the little cuckoo clock
Yes.
thing to it, right? The wheel moves back and forth. Like you get all of the animations of It's a Small World, and it would have been like an even better thing if you could buy the like more side panels,
Oh
because in
yeah.
the game there's currently two towers that you can buy. I don't
Mm-hmm.
remember
Yep.
if they were part of the Pixar Star Path or the
They were.
Disney Star
I
Path.
have those, so I think they
Yeah,
were part of the parks.
the
Either
parks
the parks
one.
Yeah.
one.
Parks.
That's what it was. You're right. Like you could add those on the sides, but then if you had additional paneling that you could buy that mimics like the
Yeah.
sides of It's a Small World, man, like you could build an entire theme park, and I think
That
that's the direction they should go.
right, and or if they had the alligator with the umbrella, or the hippo, like
All those
things like that.
topiaries. Yeah.
Yeah.
All the topiaries would have been so good. Like in the front, they have I don't know. There's just so many good things. All the attraction like elements from inside, like the hippo, I think would have been a really good one to have.
Mhm.
Um, I mean, how would you choose? Even one of the balloons from the end scene, right? Like the big white
How about those
hot
ones that are
air
doing the
balloons.
6-7, 6-7, 6-7?
They're all doing that.
Already 6-7.
Yeah. Settle down, children. Settle down. Uh, so
The
yeah,
big sun on the inside.
Oh, that would have been a
Yeah.
great decoration. I don't know. I think it was a missed opportunity for this one for not making it more attraction based.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
3,000. I'm complaining about it like I'm not gonna get it.
Right.
Because I'm gonna get it. Let's be honest. It
Right.
as small as it is, if you're trying to build a little mini theme park, especially now that we have the floating islands to build on, I'm like drooling thinking about it. I don't know why. I have to buy it. I can't
Yeah.
skip out on it. It's gonna be one of those things where if I don't buy it, I'm gonna be angry at myself, not knowing when they're gonna bring it back. So yeah,
But I do like that Dreamlight Valley seems to be pretty good about bringing that stuff back.
that's true.
Yeah.
And if you're lucky, they will also bring it back at a 15 to 20% discount.
Ooh.
So if you can't get it now, the good thing is that yes, you're right. They have been very good about bringing those items back later, and you get some kind of discount at the end. But I I would say if you ever have an opportunity to just do the star paths, though, that's where you're going to get a lot of these elements because I noticed
Right.
that some of the things that were just part of star paths are now being sold in the store
Oh.
Oh.
and
I-
a- and
Go
they're
ahead.
being sold like at a pretty high price too, like way
I
more
have
than what the star path would have cost.
I have a complaint o'clock about this Star Path this
Oh
time.
please.
Like, it's filled with some boring stuff, and I'm only doing it because I want the last thing that's the bonus reward,
Yeah,
and that's the Emporium. And it's like,
yeah.
couldn't I have just paid for that instead of the Star Path?
What's in there right now? Or what's the theme?
It's all holiday
Yeah,
stuff,
it is.
clothing.
It is a nice
mean, it's-
building though.
Winter
Yes, that's the only
warmth
thing I
star
want.
Yeah, but see that's the
Like-
thing, right? Because
Oh yeah.
what I'm saying,
Look at that.
the Emporium building goes nicely with two other things that they've already released. One is the confectionery building that they have,
Yep.
and then the other one is the Main Street entrance that has like the archway and stuff. So you could start building out Main Street, including Daisy's shop and Scrooge, and just kind of like lining them up together. So they've done a really good job of bringing those elements in.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I was saying just a moment ago that if you want to save some money, you do have to put some of the work in, right? Because the Star Path is going to be the best way for you to get a lot of these items without
Yeah.
having to pay for them later, either out of pocket
Mhm.
or by trying to get a lot of the free moonstones that you can still get in the game. I have heard some complaints though that the more you have your valley decorated, the harder it is to find things like the free moonstone chest because they spawn it like random places.
Yep.
So there is a downside to over decorating, which is why I'm really liking the idea of only using the floating islands to decorate because then it doesn't compete with the valley. And then things
Yeah.
like finding the glowing spots for like the Cheshire Cat when that thing was going on, the blue chest for the free moonstones, um, pretty much anything that requires you to search around the valley, right? It's much easier. So if you play I think daily you could still get up to 150 moonstones per day. So, by the end of the week, you can have over, like a good 1,500 moonstones if you can just go around the game. The problem is that the other two chests will not spawn until you pick up the first one on that day. So you will have to play a good 30 minutes per day to try to get the 150 total. But by the end of the week, you got moonstones that you didn't have to pay for.
Or
Right.
you could just press what is it? X? Go to furniture and just look on the map for them.
That is a good
Don't run
way.
around.
That is a good way to find them. I
Yes.
have resorted to that tactic many times, especially when it's really hard to find in some locations that you do have a
Mhm.
lot of decorations
Right.
in. It is a time saver. I don't know what the spawn rate is for each of the new chests, but hey, it's free moonstones, right? I
It
I
is.
heard I heard another creator talking about this, which is how I heard people were complaining about the chest being kind of hidden. Uh, I forgot which creator it was that said it, but their primary stuff is they talk about Dreamlight Valley, and they said that Dreamlight Valley is one of those games that yes, their shop does cost a lot, but it's also one of the only games that if you play, you have an opportunity of earning a lot of free like
Oh yeah.
moonstones and a lot of free tokens. Like if you do the dream snaps, you're going to
Mhm.
get anywhere from like 400 to 4,000 moonstones depending on where
Yeah.
you rank and what you get, right? So there aren't any other games that have these internal stores like Fortnite. My son plays Fortnite all the time, and he's always complaining about how a lot of the really cool skins and a lot of the cool things that you can get in the game you have to pay for. But in the game itself, there aren't a lot of opportunities to earn that in-game currency. Dreamlight Valley, I think, is really in a league of its own when it comes to that. Uh, I finally started to hear more about what you were saying, Mel, about people complaining that this DLC and this Star Path in particular just feel like they rushed it just to get it
Mhm.
done, and it felt like it was lacking, especially getting Cinderella into the valley. Uh, Tiana, I think, was the same way, where it wasn't even like a door or anything like that. It was just like a task, and then, yay,
Yeah.
you released Tiana, and
It's
now
like
the
let us
same
go to
thing
the
with this one.
bayou.
Yeah, same thing with this
You
one.
released Tiana.
It's kind of the same thing. Like with this one, it was a like a sparkled pumpkin
Uh-huh.
that you got from the fairy godmother, and then you put it down and then you water it, and 15 minutes later you release Cinderella from this like bedazzled pumpkin. So there wasn't a lot
No.
to these particular like adding these princesses to the game. So I
Right.
could see why people are upset. I'm trying to figure out if it has to do with them planning the next DLC, or like what's going on is specifically, because I don't know
Well,
what the
there's
roadmap
other
is.
characters that were like that, right? Like Vanellope was the same way. Like she just kind of showed up, right? There's
Well,
no
Vanellope
Wreck-It
had
Ralph
quite a
door.
few. No, but Vanellope actually
Yeah,
had
I think
quite
he
a
had a
few tasks in
yeah.
order to get her. Like
Yeah.
Cinderella has been probably the easiest one to get, because
Oh,
you
okay.
literally just had to wait 15 minutes after watering this pumpkin.
Oh, okay.
That was it. So as long as you had all the other fairy godmother tasks done and she was at level 10, you
Mm-hmm.
talked to her. Oh, I'm sorry. You had to do two
The
things.
shoe.
You had to find the glass slipper in the plaza. You gave it to fairy godmother, and she's all like, "Oh, this belongs to Cinderella." Like she's probably trapped. And that's the story for all the characters, right? Like they
Mm-hmm.
were
Yeah.
all in the valley. The forgetting came. They all went away or got somehow trapped in another realm or whatever, and then you untrap them, and then yay, welcome in front of
That.
the fountain.
Yeah.
So
Dude, for Cinderella, I did not get the message. You know how they usually send you the email saying, "Oh, this is happening," right? And I go to the dream castle, I look for the realms, and I'm like, "There's no door." Okay, I walk back out, I see the shoe, and I was like, "Oh, pick up." And then everything started, and I was like, "Okay." And then after I was finished, I got the little email. I was like, "Oh, whoops."
I didn't get the little letter in the mailbox either until after I started the quest. Same. Yep.
It's too
So,
funny.
I mean, at least they're on it. right?
Yeah.
At least it's all working in the order that it should. I don't know. It's been I've heard a lot of people complaining about how the shop has been going up in price and how they've been. Oh, that was the other complaint that they were talking about, that every star path and every release of a realm or a new character, there's a bunch of stuff that gets added to Scrooge's shop. So you can go and you can buy stuff from Scrooge. There was some elements in in Wish Blossom Ranch that when they did the showcase, they had told everyone you'll be able to unlock these items and go buy more in Scrooge's shop. But they
Oh.
changed it. When they released the DLC, they said you unlock the ability to create more. And the reason people were angry is because those little pieces of wood that you have to collect in Wish Blossom Ranch spawn like every 2 minutes or whatever. And it takes
Yeah.
so many of them to craft these
Yep.
items that
Yep.
you have to keep collecting them to craft the new ones. And so people are like, you told us we could buy more at Scrooge's shop, and they didn't change it. So people are angry
Nope.
about that. The I think the reason that a lot of the items in the shop are going up in price and why they have so many is I think they're running into issues with licensing, where the licensing for characters that are more popular is starting to cost them a lot more, including the fact that more things at Disney are starting to cost more. So I think it's impacting them as a company. Because obviously they pay a
Oh.
licensing fee. Like Gameloft is not
Right.
a part of the Disney company. Gameloft is
Yeah.
its own independent company that pays the licensing to have these characters. And so for a while it didn't make sense. Like, why are they releasing this like B or C character when they're like everybody's asking for this A character? And it's because the A character costs way more to license.
Right.
You know, so obviously Tigger's going to cost less than a Winnie the Pooh is going to cost, right?
Makes
So
sense.
I think that's why we get some of these. Obviously, Tinkerbell took a while. They could have incorporated it to the story, but I guarantee you that Tinkerbell cost them more money to license than Peter Pan ever did,
Oh, yeah.
right? So I think that has a lot to do with it. And then with all the changes in pricing in the parks and merchandise and everything for Disney, I think this is just part of that.
So be on the lookout
That
for
makes
the
sense.
cows from Home on the Range and Bolt.
That's
And,
I
right.
would love
uh,
that.
And the Meet the Robinsons folks and the Brother Bear.
Right?
Do
and-
you know how much I would love it if they added the characters from Meet the Robinsons? I would just have Bowler Hat Guy following me around the valley, just like creeping up on everybody. That's the best.
The
I would.
weirdest part is we don't have Atlantis yet. We don't have anybody.
We don't. And
And
we
the
thought
whole
we were going to
island
get
is-
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
We thought we were going to get it early on. I remember when we first started playing the game and we talked about it, we were speculating that a lot of the symbols and like the lettering that they use to decipher stuff is the Atlantean alphabet from
Yep.
the film. So the
Yep.
fact that we still don't have that, but we have all these glowing letters and all these Atlantis looking things around the island, come on. Come
Yep.
on. That's a cheap property. Who's talking about Atlantis? That's like, I'll give you
You know-
$50 right now.
You know what? Talking about IPs that they don't care for, just give us Indiana Jones. They don't
Well,
even
Nope,
have
we're
it
gonna
on
get
Disney Plus. Just give it.
Asha
Just,
and we're gonna get Raya.
You're gonna get the Jeep before you get anything else.
Now we'll just let's see. We'll get Marion and we'll get
I don't even think we would get her.
no, we'll get from we'll get Shia LaBeouf, we'll get
Oh,
Mutt
Oh,
Williams, and we'll get the kid that drives the car in the fifth one,
You'll get Jock Lindsay.
and we'll get. I love Jock
Oh.
Lindsay.
Jock
I
Lindsay
would
would
like
be
to
one of the
have-
characters before you get Indy or Short Round or
And we'll-
any other
or
characters you
Sala,
actually want.
her-
Yeah.
Henry
So
Jones
funny.
Sr.
Well, I mean, listen, I know we're complaining about Dreamlight Valley. I still love the game. The only
Yeah.
thing that I am a little sour about still is they finally added the ability to play cross-platform,
Mm-hmm.
but
Oh.
I can't, like, if I cross-platform play, it's going to erase all the progress basically that I've had on
Mm-mm.
the other console, because you have to log into that account and it
Mm-hmm.
takes over that instance. Originally, I thought that I would be able to create a second profile on the console, log
Mm-hmm.
into the second profile, and then just play on that one, so that on the one console I could play both of them, just different profiles.
Right.
That is not the case because the profiles don't share your purchases,
Ah.
which means that I would also have to rebuy the DLCs and
Mm-mm.
everything again on that second profile. So that would mean I would have to buy it for a third time. I'm not going to do
Oof.
that.
No.
It's bad enough I've already had to buy some of these things twice.
Oh, geez,
Never
no.
again. I going into 2026. I can tell you one thing is going to change as far as my gaming is concerned. I hate that I feel like I've been trapped in this cycle with most of these games where I feel like I can't play anything else or I can't
Mm-hmm.
enjoy anything else because the grinding in these games takes up so much damn time. In WWE 2K25, like on a daily basis, you, in order to buy any of the cards, if you don't want to spend real world money, you could wrestle and wrestle and wrestle, but you were only earning like 200 to 500 of the points that you need with like the in-game currency, right?
Mm-hmm.
Unless you were going to start forking out real world cash. And if you didn't grind on a daily basis to get that stuff, you lost out on these characters. And it was really annoying because the way they would set up some of these events is every week they would add new events to the game. But if you didn't have the card from last week, you couldn't play the next one. And then the reward for that one would be the card that you need for the next event. And the reward from that one is what you would need for the next one. And so it was like this tiered thing where if you didn't get one, you lost out on 20. Right? So you had to sit there and
Wow.
grind and grind and grind. And at 200
Oh.
to 500 MFP, and these cards are like up to 40,000 MFP to get them.
Cheap
That's
labor.
hours and hours and
For
hours of.
reals.
That's what I'm saying.
No.
So, and imagine having to play that on two consoles because you foolishly wanted to be
Oh.
able to crossplay, and then that game didn't allow you to crossplay either. Right?
I'm
So
so sorry.
I know. I've learned a lot this last year about. I can't use those words because we are a PG rated podcast. I've learned a lot about how I want to manage those games going forward. One, I'm not getting next year's WWE game. I'm going
There
to
you
keep
go.
playing 25 for a while, especially considering that I got 25 as a birthday gift.
Mm-hmm.
And I was so excited because part of getting it as a pre-order allowed me to have like this bloodline package with Roman Reigns and all these like all the other members of his family, and it also gave me the Wyatt Six, and I was gonna be able to play as Uncle Howdy and all this stuff, and I was like, oh man, that's so great! Like I'm getting these because I'm pre-ordering. I'm so special. Around July or August, they made them available for purchase for everyone at a
Mm-hmm.
pretty cheap rate too. It was like $10 extra, which was cheaper than getting the upgraded version of the game.
Oh,
So
Jeez.
that
that
sucks.
was the first part that kind of sucked. It was no longer exclusive. They just made it available to everyone. The exclusive parts of the last game in 24, they also made available for purchase at the end of the year, before the 25 game came out. So that was kind of crappy. Um, let's see. And then Speedstorm has also been a cluster and a half, so to speak, when it comes to also having to grind. I was talking to Jason about it, and he said I just don't even play Speedstorm anymore because of the constant having to race for a
Mhm.
measly 200 tokens or whatever. And what's worse is that the way that you upgrade the racers, this last season specifically left a really bad taste in my mouth after what happened to me with Eeyore. I It was kind of my fault, but also the fact that the game didn't recognize that I still had them is what angered me. So in short, what happened is every season that they release, you pay $20 for the season, and then you unlock one or two racers as part of that season. And in this particular season, Eeyore was the main one. So as I was racing, collecting points, by the end of the season, I would have been able to level up Eeyore at least to like level 41, 42, because you get the season tokens to unlock these boxes. I usually wait till the end to unlock all the boxes because you have a better chance of kind of getting the shards that you need to upgrade him. I completely forgot that the season was ending the day that I was playing the game. So I was kind of rushing through it. I was trying to collect as many as possible, finishing the tasks. I was able to complete them, and I had 42 season tokens. So I was going to definitely be able to upgrade Eeyore to a really good spot, and I was going to have enough to upgrade Tigger as well, who was the other racer in the season. As soon as midnight hit, because there was no update yet, it was going to roll over into the Zootopia season at that point, but I had to leave the game to update it in order to start the game again. As soon as midnight hit, the game just went blank in most of the tiles. Like, I couldn't launch the game, I couldn't launch certain races, I couldn't launch certain portions of the store. The boxes that I had available to unlock the season tokens for Eeyore disappeared. So all of my tokens that I had just worked hours for, all gone. Couldn't upgrade Eeyore. Like, he's stuck at like level 23 or something now, when he should have ended up at like level 42-ish. I lost everything. Like, it didn't give me an opportunity to get them back because the season was over. It was just all gone. So I basically paid to not get an upgraded racer. So that alone, again, I acknowledge the fact that it was my fault. Also, I couldn't make the time to play. There was a lot of days that I just didn't feel well enough to sit there and race, and there's a lot of movement that I just didn't want to have to deal with, right? So I lost out on that, kind of angry. All the grinding for that game, for the WWE on the two consoles, Dreamlight Valley on the two consoles. I need to consolidate. Like, there's been so many games that I've wanted to play that I just haven't had a chance to, because I feel like I'm caught in this loop of trying to play these other games just to be able to unlock the things that I want on a weekly or daily or monthly basis. So here's to hoping that my 2026 looks a lot brighter. I know it's a first world problem.
So.
I'm so sorry. I know I'm complaining about just kind of dumb stuff to some people. But, you know, it's of my own doing, I suppose. So, let's see. Let's take a quick break.
Probably a good idea.
Yeah, I just realized what time it was. So let's take a short break to thank a very special group of listeners and viewers known as the FGP Squad, our podcast, Fairy Godparents, because it's their support via Patreon that help make these episodes of Podketeers possible. For more information on how you can become part of the FGP Squad family, we invite you to go to podketeers.com/FGP. There you will find some information about what the FGP Squad is all about. You'll also find a list of some of our top contributors. But in short, being a part of the FGP Squad family gets you some additional perks, like access to additional content that we've uploaded to Patreon, discount codes for new Podketeers gear, a special section of our Discord. I've gotten into 3D printing over the last year or so, and I don't have space for a lot of the stuff that I make, so I spend a bunch of time making these cool things, and then I just send it out at random. So you might get something at random from me. I also do print things on purpose to send out to the FGP Squad, so there's also that. But yeah, you get a bunch of cool perks. You get, like I said, additional content over on Patreon and stuff, like we did for the last episode, where we created our own characters in our own Smash game. So podketeers.com/FGP is where you want to go to start that journey, become part of the FGP Squad family. And of course, to all of the members of the FGP Squad, we just want to send a huge thank you for your continued support. Since we're talking about links, podketeers.com/links is where you want to go for just all your Podketeers linking needs. There you'll find links to our latest episode, the Quizneyland playlist, a link to the FGP Squad, a link for... Usually I'll include information on anything that we're fundraising for with our official charity team, Team Boat Willie. You'll also find link to our YouTube channel, our pal Larry's YouTube channel, Goofy Guys Adventures. You'll find a link to our Armchair Imagineering playlist, all sorts of stuff. And it gets updated at least once a week, but if you have a shortcut, you can set it on your phone, you can set a bookmark, and it'll just make your life easier. Why? Because then whenever something's coming up, boop, you just hit the button, you're there. And then you'll be like, oh, that's what's going on. Hey, there's the latest episode. Hey, look at that Quizneyland playlist. And it's just super helpful to have it available for you at all times. So podketeers.com/links. And now let's get back to the show. Ta-da!
Yay.
Or in the words of Peter, ta-da!
There you go.
See, what else do we have? Let's do some. I know we went Dreamlight Valley hard, but let's do an actual park thing.
Okay.
We'll pivot into an actual park thing because this was just so fun. We received some. This is actually some news that happened some time ago. I don't think it was like recently, but we just hadn't had a chance to talk about it. Guess who's coming to the parks?
Santa?
Bluey! Andrew!
Bluey.
Mel! Hazen! That's it.
Okay.
There's only 3 of us, so
Gotcha.
we don't have a 4th one.
Bluey.
And Bluey, yeah. So Bluey is going to have a show in the Fantasyland Theatre.
Nice.
I like this.
Yeah.
I'm interested in this concept art because the scale looks interesting to me based on what's currently there.
Yeah.
So I'm just curious how this is all going to work out.
Yeah, that front area specifically doesn't have that much walking space, if I remember correctly.
No, there's a bunch of benches.
Yeah, it's like stadium seating, right?
Yeah.
So I don't think
Well,
they can
you know
even
what,
clear it either because
Hazen?
it's at an incline.
They took out now that I'm remembering for the holidays, there is like a lower section that all the benches have been taken out because they had like Santa down there and stuff. They must
okay.
like unbolted the benches or something because they had a bunch of like Chip and Dale meet and greet down by the stage and all that stuff. Because yeah, it's like showing like these arches and play area and stuff. And my guess is that's kind of all combined. They'll actually... I'm just curious if this is going to be like a full like sit down and watch stage show, or if it's just going to be kind of like a 5-minute Bluey comes out and there's a band for some reason.
You know,
or
it
what?
kind of feels... It's funny. When they first announced it, I hadn't seen much of the concept art.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought it was going to be a full-blown, like, Mickey and the Magical Map sort of stage show.
25 minutes.
Right. But what it looks like is closer to the Playhouse Disney thing that they have.
Right.
Like the California Adventure thing, right?
Yeah.
Where they come out, they interact with the kids, they have them release their wiggles and do all their stuff, jump around and get tired and then get cranky so that they can go off to another attraction and ask for churros and a Coke.
Right.
I like it, though.
I mean, we're
It looks
seeing, so
cute.
there's a band, and the band consists of,
The Wiggles.
well, it's a drummer, a guitar player, a trombone player, a trumpet player, and a flute player. Kind of a weird band, but, I mean, whatever. And then we see, like, 3 other dancers, 5, 6. There's a bunch of people on this stage.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I count 11 humans and 2 dogs that look like they're part of this stage, which is a lot. On a stage that looks pretty small compared to the Mickey and the Magical Map one.
Yeah, and if you look in the background, I mean, if you look in the background, I think like Coco is back there, and who
Mama
else?
Coco?
No, Muffin is back there.
Muffin! I like Muffin.
So I don't know.
There's the wiener dog one and a pink one.
The wiener dog one, yes. The pink one is Coco.
Oh, there's a wiener dog one.
I forgot who the wiener dog is.
We're going to look it up.
Who's the
So
wiener
the
dog?
cool thing, I mean, I see that
Snickers.
if it does,
Snickers.
Snickers.
if it does come back as like a show, that's cool because they don't have anything or
Yeah.
had anything for a while. I'm seeing like the concept art, and I'm hoping that it is a stage show. I mean, who knows, but maybe not. But it's something finally.
Yeah. Put it in the Hyperion.
There we go. Bluey, the musical, 45
That's right.
minutes.
It could be like Phantom of the Opera, but Bluey style. Boom. Do it.
Ba-da-da-dun-dun-dun-dun. Phantom. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Christine. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Raoul. Da-da-da-da.
I like it. Well, I think it's happening like summer of 2026. I'm hoping that by then I'll be feeling well enough to go back to the parks.
Let's go.
Definitely
hope-
going to be a day
yeah.
ticket thing.
I hope
Yeah.
friggin' Chili and Bandit are in there too.
I hope so too. I want to go up to Bandit and be like, "You're a great dad."
Aw.
Just shake his hand. Give him a hug.
Inspiration.
That's right. Give him a hug. Take a picture. It'll make my day if I can meet Bandit. He's on my water bottle. Why would I not want to meet Bandit?
Right.
Great dad.
Who wouldn't?
That's right. Let's see. Oh, we're going to shift over to a property that I think should be in the parks by now, especially considering that Universal won't be having it much longer. The Simpsons.
Oh.
No third gate. They're just going to take over something somewhere. I don't know where.
Tomorrowland.
Tomorrowland, exactly.
Point.
Ah, yes, the lands at Disneyland, Main Street, USA,
And
Adventureland,
Simpsons Land.
Tomorrowland, Fantasyland, Toontown.
Springfield.
And Springfield Land.
Homer.
Homer. This actually was an interesting article. I had to double check to make sure that this was not just some random trolling that was happening.
Okay.
And I think I verified well enough to know that Los Tigres del Norte will be making their debut on The Simpsons.
Kind of wild.
Yeah, for those of you unfamiliar, Los Tigres del Norte is a very famous band from Mexico. They have been around for decades at this point, and I don't think any parents of Mexican descent don't know who this band is. I'm sure that at some point one of your parents or one of your family members was belting out about a black door. And that's just how it worked. Like, they were a constant. Who do you think this band would be the equal to, like, in the US, Mel? Like, what is like how,
The Tigers of the North.
like, as far as like the fandom and like how popular they are, like who would you put? I'm having a hard time placing like how
I
big
don't want to
this
offend
band is.
anybody because I'm not
Let's
sure.
see.
I mean, it is hard to place. Let me see.
I mean, it's gonna have to be
They're
like
from
a rock
San
and roll
Jose,
band.
California.
It's been here forever.
They're just like Linkin Park.
Okay,
I don't know.
so
What do you think?
I would say no. It's
No.
I would say from a cultural significance, I would say that. Oh man,
Slipknot.
you're right. It's gonna piss some people off.
Yeah,
I
that's
would
what I'm
say
kinda like,
Dave Matthews Band.
I'm gonna
No.
say this. I'm gonna say this with a
Like-
grain of salt, obviously, but I want to explain to you the how big they are as a band. So I'm gonna throw out this name. I'm not gonna say that they are the equivalent of this band, but as like
Just
a
an
band
idea.
that a lot of people know, a lot of people grew up listening to. I'm gonna say they're like the Eagles, right?
Okay.
Like
I was
Sure.
thinking somebody like
or like
generations
Fleetwood
know
Mac.
them. Yes.
You know, like they're just known generationally. They're known. They're very popular. They're still touring. You know, again, if you grew up anywhere near a Mexican household, you were listening to somebody belt out Adidas and Norte song.
I think this is awesome. Like, okay, I'm if I hear the music, I'll probably recognize it. I do not know song titles, but seeing how this is happening after like I don't remember how many years it's been, where Los Tucanes were in Coachella.
Oh right.
And you're like, what is happening? Like, what? Like, they're at Coachella. Like, this is how it kind of feels. Like they're on the Simpsons. Like, one of the television's like most popular. Like, they made it.
Yeah.
You kind of get me?
It's definitely one of those cultural milestones where
Yeah.
you see it. It's kind of like, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of Snoop right now, but I think when Snoop brought out like banda to his show
Yeah.
and was singing, you know what I mean? There's so many. There's such a
SNL
melting.
when we had Chavo de Ocho.
Exactly.
And things like that.
Yeah.
Like, we're seeing like this not a crossover. Is it a crossover?
I mean,
Culture
it's just a
crossover?
cultural crossover is what it is,
Yeah.
right? Because you're seeing a lot of that happen. Bad Bunny was on like in 2021? Like he was on there like years ago.
Oh, I mean, this year
on The
too.
Simpsons.
Oh, yeah.
On The Simpsons,
Sorry.
yeah. So they've definitely crossed, like they've definitely taken popular artists. Like we've seen, you
Yeah.
know, it all started, I want to say back when Michael Jackson was on, like, or at least his voice was on. Yeah, he was Leon Kompowski, right?
Yeah.
But they've definitely had a history of having cultural, like, icons and musicians on The Simpsons. But I don't think it's been to the magnitude of this particular, you know, having them on. Like, Los Tigres del Norte, I'm
Right.
telling you, are very impactful in the Mexican community.
So I'm going to give my so I just played a bunch of songs like for 5 seconds to see if I've heard any of this, and I'm going to equate from my perspective of a very uncultured white person.
It's okay.
That this band reminds me of AC/DC, where
Okay.
every song sounds exactly the same.
That's a good assessment.
Yeah.
AC/DC is my favorite rock band.
That's
my
a
favorite rock
pretty
band.
good
And
assessment,
every song
actually.
of AC/DC is basically the same song. It has the same guitar tone. It has the same everything, and it's just the lyrics are different. And I played 6 different songs, and I skipped to the middle. It sounded, every single song was accordion right in the front, and then a guy going here.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
so it, if I had to compare them, and AC/DC is a big band too,
Yeah.
so
I think that is actually
I
a
don't know
very
if
good
that's a
comparison.
good comparison. But
I like yours more than mine, actually. So, yeah, your white guyness helped you, helped us figure out who they fairly equate to. So, yeah, I actually really like that comparison. You're right, because
Me too.
that even as somebody that grew up listening to this, I will vouch that, yeah, a lot of the songs sound the same, but that's kind of the case for a lot of artists that people
Right.
grow up with, right? Like they have a style, they have a way that they do their writing and whatever the case is. And so
Oh yeah.
for somebody that's not versed in that particular artist, their songs are going to sound exactly the same to everyone,
Right.
you know? So
Yep.
I get it. So yeah, I think this was super cool. The announcement was, when is this episode airing? Let's see. I don't remember having.
It's a good question.
They will. Oh, it's this Sunday's episode.
Oh, so it'll already be out by the time this.
By the
comes
time
out.
that this, yeah, by the time
Wow.
that we release this episode, it will have already gone up. So it should be on Disney Plus at some point. You'll be able to watch it there, which is great.
There you go.
I brought up this article that I just brought up talking about their appearance. Lists some of the other historic bands and performances that we've seen, like Red Hot Chili Peppers, Aerosmith, U2, James Brown, Paul McCartney, the Ramones, George Harrison, Bad Bunny. But this one is obviously a little different culturally. So this is fantastic. I love this. All right. Let's see. What else do we have? Oh, I want to show this video before I forget about it. I had it up on a tab.
Mm-hmm.
We're just talking about the parks, and I totally forgot. And Mel sent us this video, and I don't want to forget to show it because I
It's
love
so
this.
cool.
I want to make this. Oh, I'm gonna have to
Uh-huh.
mute it because I forgot they were using a gorilla song. Hold
Oh, it
on.
looks like that the back to the Simpsons really quickly. It looks like they're writing an original song for the Simpsons.
Yeah. Pedro and Homer, or Homero.
El Corrido de Pedro y Homero.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means. Sorry for butchering the language.
Oh no, it's fine. You did
El
good.
Corrido.
Yeah. It's basically a ballad. It's the
Oh,
Spanish
the
word
Ballad
for
of Homer
the
and
Ballad of
Pedro.
Homer and Pedro. Yeah, that's all it is.
Gotcha.
Okay, so I'm gonna share this screen here. This is by a creator named A Pyro Design. This right here, by the way, is kind of like some of my 3D printing goals, because a lot of the stuff that I've been doing in 3D has required me to sand down and paint, and I haven't really taken the time to learn how to dial in my settings so that things look this smooth right out of the gate, right after you make them. I can tell you just by looking at this little item right here, it's a zoetrope that we're looking. If you're just listening, it's a
yes.
zoetrope of the teacup ride. There's like a pitcher in the middle, and then there's like teacups going around it. I'm gonna quickly hit play here because this looks awesome.
Right?
Boom. Look at that.
And it's just a fidget spinner. It's like I would be so distracted, but I love it.
The funny thing is that because there's such harsh turns on the little people that are inside of the teacups, it almost
Yeah.
looks like stop motion.
Right.
Like when it
Yeah.
spins to that, like when it catches up to your eye, it looks like claymation in real life or like stop motion or something. I love this. But I could tell you just by looking at this, there's at least 3 colors that are in this print. Obviously, you have the blue, this little magenta or pink, and then the white for the little people that are in there. The color changes that happen for every layer in order to achieve that, I don't know what printer they did this on, but I could tell you that this was a good day and a half worth of printing for this one item. So
Honestly,
I'm hoping...
I thought they were painted.
I don't think they're painted. It looks like they were actually printed like this. It's the color changes in 3D printing. I could tell you, as much as it was like an attractive feature for me to say like, oh, I can multicolor print, I very rarely do it, because in order to get something that's multicolor, it adds 3 to 4 times of the print time to it, because every time it does a layer, it has to switch the color. You end up wasting a lot of filament and a lot of just a lot
Oh
of
my
product, because
gosh.
it has to like purge out the old color and make sure that it's only printing the new color. Then it goes and it does 1 or 2 lines or whatever for that one item, and then it goes and it purges again, reloads the new color, and then it does the next portion of that line. So 3D printing is essentially, you can imagine an item that's cut up into individual lines just stacked on top of each other, right? And so every
Right.
one of those lines is going to be 1, 2 as many colors that are part of that line. And so if you look at this particular item, by the time that it gets to the teacup, like where the little diamonds are in the teacup, it's
Yeah.
changing like 3 times there, because it's going to do the elements that are the pink, and then it's going to switch colors, purge a bunch of that one, and then switch to the blue, do the blue piece, and then it's going to purge it, switch to the white, and then it's going to do those, and then it's going to switch it back to the pink, and then it's going to go to the next layer and it's going to do that one. So 3D printing in all of these colors is such a long process. I very, very rarely do it. That's why I paint everything and I hand
Mm-hmm.
sand everything, and like I put so much work into them, because in the end, you end up spending less time and
Mhm.
you end up wasting less filament by just hand painting it at the end.
Now there
Okay,
are
so I
some
needed.
print. Oh, go ahead,
Go for
Melissa.
it.
I was gonna say there's some printers that have multiple heads, right? That are swappable. These are fairly new coming
Those are
out, right?
new. Yeah.
Yeah.
They do. I think some of the newer ones, at least some of the ones that are readily available for purchase, only have 2 print heads
Oh,
that
okay.
are available. So there's still some purging that happens. It's obviously less. There are some that are coming to market that have up to 7, and one that
Wow.
even boasts having 12.
Jeez.
I haven't seen anybody actually use them. You can hook up the machines that hold the multiple spools. They hold up to 4 different colors.
Mm-hmm.
They will allow you to hook up a few of those, to one individual printer, so you can have 8 colors, 16 colors, whatever the case is. But it doesn't change the fact that if you have one print head, you're still purging and you're still wasting all
Right.
of that filament. So there's a little bit of a give and take when it comes to stuff like this. Again, the approach that I've taken is to print everything either in gray or black, because those are the easiest colors to print with,
Mm-hmm.
because depending on the color and the type of filament that you're using, they have a bunch of additives that they add to it so that they can make it a specific color, or they have what are called silk filaments that are like really shiny, which I attempted to use for the Podketeers coins for the anniversary ones that we sent out. Oh man, it is so hard to print with those if you don't know how to dial in your settings. And at the time that I made the anniversary coins, I didn't know much about tuning the printer and like
Mm-hmm.
honing that stuff in, and it was just a mess. I literally wasted 2.5 rolls of gold silk filament trying to tune it, and I never got it right, which is
Okay.
why I took the approach of just hand painting them and like making these, the way that I did. I was still happy with how they turned out, just not as happy as I would have been if we would have been able to get the actual gold silk filament to work from the
Mm-hmm.
beginning. But I don't know, maybe for year 13, we'll do another collectible coin. And
Year 20.
no, I don't know, I like 13. It's like the
Okay.
13-hour clock. It's an unconventional number.
There we
It
go.
just feels like a fun anniversary to have. So yeah, this particular item, the only way that I can see that this would be like a good solution for people that sell, let's say that they're making these and they sell them on Etsy,
Mhm.
I would say that making these small enough that you can fit a whole bunch on your print bed so that they all print together, because they don't print individually, they print by the layer, right? So
Right.
if you group them all, you're printing, 6 to 12 or whatever depending on the size of these, and it only has to switch the same amount of times, whether you're making one or more on the print bed, if that makes any sense. So if you're selling these, it's definitely worth making a lot more of them, because making one at a time is just such a waste. It's funny because the wasted filament is called printer poop, because it just looks like the little poop emoji, just a little dollop. It's fun stuff. That one's for the kids listening.
Yep.
Let's see. All right. Well, I think we should start getting ready to wrap up this episode. We're getting ready, obviously, to wrap up 2025. We're just a few short days away from entering 2026. Was there any highlights in 2025, or were there anything that particularly stands out in your head as like a, oh, come on, Bob, really? I mean, that's not what I wanted to say. Was there anything that made you happy? I'm kidding. I mean, I think there were a lot of frustrating things this year, right? But is there anything in particular that stands out as, that was good, that was bad, I hope Disney changes that? Like, what's your, or is this one of those instances where so much has happened and it's been like the longest 87 years of our lives in these last 350 some days, that, you know, it's just, we're just happy to go into 2026?
Yes.
I mean, you know, I thought there was a lot of cool stuff. We got a Waltomatronic came out.
Yeah.
Lots of controversy, but, you know, I think a positive at the end of the day. Paint the Night came back, which is good.
That is a plus.
Yeah.
That's good. I don't know what else happened. We're gonna get an Abu Dhabi park.
That is happening.
Questionable at best. Well, is it? That's
We don't know.
As far as we know, it's still
It's been
happening.
announced, but who knows?
That's never happening. Yas Island.
Yes.
Yes. I don't.
Becky?
Becky. Yes, Becky is a new spokesperson for Yas Island.
Hey, Becky, I have a question for you. Since it's not pumpkin spice season anymore, are you into peppermint?
I like they have a gingerbread. I like gingerbread flavor.
They do?
Yeah, gingerbread spice latte.
Okay, all right.
Yes.
Oh, still the spokesperson for Yas Island.
Yas Island, yes. Visit Yas Island. There's a bunch of theme parks there, yes.
Is that the one with the Mr. Beast theme park as well?
Mr. Beast and Paramount
There's also
Park,
like a McDonald's and a Wendy's and all that
Ferrari
stuff, right?
World.
Oh, right, there's a Ferrari World. I forgot about that. That's funny.
I think there's a Warner
else?
Brothers one there too.
Yeah. What else happened in the parks? What else was announced? It feels like a blur.
Avatar that already was announced the year
right.
before.
Coming to California Adventure.
Muppets closed at Hollywood
Oh
Studios.
no, we said happy stuff.
Yeah.
What happened?
Don't do that.
There was probably a new churro flavor or something.
There was like 20. It's all in the dipping sauce. Yeah, I mean, it was definitely one of those growing years, right? Where a lot of stuff ended up closing, a lot of stuff ended up getting modified. The one that I was going to pick as my standout was, you mentioned it. It was actually the first thing you mentioned, Andrew, was the Walt animatronic. Mm-hmm. I think as much, like I've said my fair share about the Walt animatronic. But in general, I have to admit that I like the concept and I like the idea of having the Walt animatronic. I know you went and saw it in person. I have still yet to see it in person, so I've only seen videos. And for me, it's still in that weird uncanny valley. Like, it looks like Walter Matthau, like not Walt Disney, right? Like, there's still some facial things that just kind of like throw it off. You're not the only person, as a matter of fact, who has gone in person to see it. I have some colleagues at work that have gone to see it in person, and they say, you know what, it looks much different when you see it in the theater because they control the lights a lot better, and so the shadows and all that stuff looks a lot more like Walt, especially for the ones that I think we talked about this when we recorded that specific episode, that there are going to be people that recognize Walt a little bit more, like his facial features and everything, because they're a lot more ingrained in the Disney culture. Whereas other people will see it and it's like, yep, that's Walt. Or they'll see a video or a picture and be like, yep, that's Walt. And they'll just take it for what it is, right? They won't nitpick it because they don't care, right? The way that we do. We're the crazy ones, basically.
Yes, we are.
We are.
So, I would love to see them evolve the animatronic. I don't know if they're ever going to change it. I know that obviously the announcement for the Walt animatronic that's coming to Walt Disney World is going to be a little bit different. At some point, where are they adding it? Do you remember where they
Carousel
announced
of
it?
Progress.
The Carousel of Progress, right. I'm sure that, at least I hope, that they take the opportunity to fix some of the things that we felt were wrong with this one when it comes to that one. And once that one is done, that they come back to this one and then they fix this one as well. I know there's a lot of people that are just happy with it. I think they should fix it. So that's just me, though.
You know
that
what's
for what it
on?
is.
So we're not talking about 2025 anymore. It's where it's done. The one cool thing, and I think we could end it on this note. One cool thing to think about what's going to happen next year is that we're finally going to go to D23 Expo.
Oh yeah, we're all
we
gonna be
get
there
to hang
together. I know.
Yeah.
I know. I actually, honestly, it's been one of the things that I've been happy about. I'm hoping that I can continue on, on a upward trajectory in feeling better. I could tell you this year, obviously, I haven't really talked a lot about this on the podcast. You both know, obviously, because you have seen it, backstage, so to speak. And so you know a lot of the challenges and everything that I've had. At some point, I'll probably talk more about it, especially considering that I feel very strongly about some of the decisions and some of the choices that companies have made in order to put it lightly, just not give a crap, right? So, but this year has definitely been a very positive year. It's been one that I've probably, I don't want to use the word or phrase normal because I don't ever consider myself normal, but it's probably, especially towards the end of the year, it's been the first time in a long time that I felt more like myself than I have in a long time. So I've been looking forward to us hanging out at D23. Like I said earlier, hopefully at some point I get a chance to see Bluey in the parks and I get to hug Bandit. I think that would be pretty cool. And I don't know if we're gonna get Paint the Night back, but I would love to see Paint the Night again. I love that parade. Like, it's like in my soul. I love it. Not seeing Christmas decorations in the park, like just experiencing the holidays, has definitely been something that I've missed in the parks. I miss my mansion. Give me a second.
The smells.
I miss the smells of pirates in the mansion. That mustiness. I don't miss the mustiness of the people standing in line.
No.
I don't miss that, but I do miss the attraction smells. I miss the waft of vanilla walking down Main Street. I miss our castle, at the end of the street. So, progress is good. I'm hoping that at some point I'll be comfortable enough to go back to the parks, but that's a 2026 thing, obviously. So we end in there.
Why not?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
That's a good place. Positive, move forward. Yeah, it's a good place to end 2025. Things will look up in 2026. At least that's what we're hoping for. So, Andrew, tell us about your shirt before we end the episode.
Right. I got a new shirt for Christmas from my wife. has the piston cup, and it says he did what in his cup.
Hey, what was that again?
On the shirt. He did what in his cup?
That's
something
right.
like that. Yep, there
That's
you go.
right. All right. That's it. That's gonna wrap it up. That's a wrap for 2025. If you've been with us as a new listener or a viewer over on YouTube, thank you so much for joining us on this ride. If you've been with us for a long time, for years, also thank you for being along on this ride. Thank you for giving us an outlet to just talk and vent and have a place to just share our love of Disney and all the musings and the things that frustrate us about the parks and things that the company does on a weekly basis as well. So we're looking forward to 2026. I don't know what else to say. That's it. Happy 2025. Let's have a better 2026.
Oh.
And until next time, keep dreaming, keep moving forward, and always remember to pass on the magic. Have a fantastic week, everyone.
Bye.
See ya.